Oh, look at these. This is gorgeous. You can just calmly sit here even though there's violence happening elsewhere. Hey, Mr. Gondola Man. There's just the beautiful canal. St. Mark's Square. Isn't that what that is up there? Hey. Oh. I die if you put bullets in me.
Welcome to RIALTO.
Look at that! Look at the canal ride. Look at this. Look at the other buildings. There's St. Mark's Square.
Yeah. I don't remember these being in Venice last time I was there.
These little robots.
Yeah.
And look at it. Look at the huge supports that's supporting the buildings. These mechanical
Yeah, because this is
arms.
based in the future, isn't it? So they've had to prop up Venice because it's threatening to fall into the sea.
Yeah, look at these cool arms supporting the buildings.
Yeah. All right, so we play a lot of video games. We have for years and years. Today, we decided to show you one of our favourite games. So this is just one of the best designed games. And one of the reasons we decided to talk about it today, because it reminds us of postmodernism. And postmodernism was huge when we were students. And here's a really... Where are you going?
Inactivity.
Oh, you ran in front of me and killed me, you bastard. You made me kill myself. No. You are the worst tourist ever.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at that glass dome. Go and look at that glass dome and report back.
It's people like you that are tourists like you that are ruining Venice for the rest of us. That's one of the wonderful things about Overwatch is the sort of the future vision of what some of these known places could be. While Kevin fights all my teammates, we think a lot about postmodernism when we think about this game. So postmodernism, for people who don't know, thinking about Charles Jencks, who wrote a book called The Language of Postmodernism. Essentially, he proclaimed...
1977, right?
Yeah, and he proclaimed the death of modernism. He thought that modernism robbed us of cultural iconography, and he felt like people needed that. And so he proclaimed that buildings needed to be beyond function and actually have essentially decoration all over them that were culturally specific.
I thought postmodernism was very much about people and meaning.
Yeah, and the idea that we're pretty simple creatures and we just need pretty shapes that have cultural meaning embedded in them to make architecture better.
Well, I don't think the original idea was meant to be just pretty shapes, but definitely meaning.
Yeah. Making things
regionally specific. It's become that. Alright, I need to push the payload while you talk rubbish about postmodernism.
Push that payload. God, it's really hard to concentrate when there's people shooting you. Is that you doing that? Did you just nuke everybody?
Yeah, well, I had to.
So Kev's going to give us a tour of Overwatch. Incredibly beautifully designed game. I've got a book called The Art of Overwatch that just shows the level of thinking that's gone into this game and how much research has been applied and design thinking. But we consider this to be one of the exemplary examples of postmodernism, and that arguably postmodernist theory is best applied in the virtual world than in the real world, where you see lots of examples, notably people like Michael Graves, that just got typical crappy office buildings and added classical forms to them and called them architecture.
Classical motifs. What I read was that he was after this idea of multivalent architecture, this idea of you can have multiple meanings by looking at something. So you can read whatever you like into it and then embedded meaning. So it's very much like our episode on the Shrine of Remembrance by ARM. You know, when I asked you, what does it remind you of, Andrew? Andrew, what does this remind you of? Are they blood splatters, or are they bullet holes, or are they just a bit of red paint?
Yeah. And I guess the problem with it, the legacy we've got from postmodernism, is that there seemed to be an investment in that type of meaning and less of an investment in, they sometimes replaced, or there was a laziness around actually creating really good high quality space. You create a generic shed or a generic office building and then
look at me.
add that layers on top. Look at you. You did play the game, did you? Look at you being a tour guide. Is everybody enjoying this? Is what happens on Archimarathon when we go overseas with Kevin.
Yeah, it's
he just
hectic.
shoots the shit out of everybody.
Now traveling to Busan.
You know where Busan is?
Busan is in South Korea, is it not?
That is correct. It's the second largest city.
Yes!
It's a bit of a party town too. That's right.
Look at this.
Yeah, look at the buildings.
Wow.
So a bit of, very postmodern, but with a sort of high-tech touch.
Yeah, there's so many examples in China of the big roof. So they would get quite international style buildings and then they would put the big roof on it to try and make it a regional building. And then you had IMP come along with a very, very sophisticated postmodern building. That hotel, what was it called?
Vagrant Hill Hotel.
Yeah, and taking
Early
Chinese-
1980s.
yeah, Chinese iconography and applying it in a really interesting spatial way rather than just an applied skin. This is great. I've never actually been in this map. Yeah, this is cool. But this is what I love about video games. Like, I have a real problem, the Disneyland effect, where people decide they're going to build something that is from a different epoch, and then you don't use the same materials, you don't use the same labour, you sort of fake it up. It becomes a stage set. Don't do that in the real world. But I love that you can do that in video games and still feel it and experience it so spatially.
One special thing about Overwatch, though, is the amount of little details they put in and the amount of backstory with each character they have.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things embedded in the maps and the little cues as to the storyline behind these characters. And they do these beautiful animation stories of each character.
Yeah. And there's so much research. That's one of the reasons I had to buy that book, because it just reveals just how much thinking goes in behind it. And as you said, the tiny details, they call a lot of little, they're called Easter eggs, aren't they, in video games? You can, if you stop for a moment and you stop the violence, you can actually find where designers have spent a long time thinking of very cool things.
You just destroyed my tea set. Oh, there's another one over here. Look at this. Beautiful tea set.
Yeah? What? That tea set? Kev, you okay? Kev? Teabag. Oh, you've gone.
Traveling to Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, this blows my mind. Look at that. There is so much cultural referencing in the creation of this. The level of detail in this map.
I'm outside in the zero gravity space.
There's a zero gravity space.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Airlock. Okay, I'm ready to hold my breath. Oh, wicked. Wicked. Oh, the sound is different. Look at the moon buggy. I love this. This is one of my favourite things about video games, is there's no waste. Hey, who does that remind you of? Is that Zaha Hadid?
Yeah, it does look a bit Zaha did, yeah.
Oh, and there's the Earth.
Yeah, you can see the Earth from here. Oh, wow, look the reflection of that gold material.
Ah, yeah.
Wow, it's glary.
Some say to save humanity, everybody needs to go to space and look back at the Earth. You know, arguably the most famous, the most important photograph ever taken by a human was called Earthrise. And it was, I think, Apollo 8, where they went around the moon and came back and they took a photo of the Earthrise. And it's all of the astronauts said it changed them profoundly. You just changed me profoundly.
Sorry.
Stop splooging on me.
You walked in front of it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's my fault that you just shot me in the back of the head. So many references to things like 2001. Like that looks like the Discovery vehicle that they flew in that movie towards Jupiter.
Oh yeah.
And so again, I just think this is like a type of postmodernism. This is like referencing so many cultural artifacts and then applying it spatially. Just happens to be in a video game.
Do you see the texture on the materials with the honeycomb
Which one?
texture? Any of these roofs? Look at these things. Look at that.
Yeah. Again, more like that references the space shuttle, no doubt. It's the
Or future systems.
yeah. Well, Future Systems is referencing the space shuttle, aren't they? That's interesting. The idea that Future System is postmodern. Bye bye. Oh, see ya. Yes. Oh, did you leave some presents for me?
Yep. Have you seen the Matt Damon part?
Huh? The what part?
Matt Damon.
The Matt Damon part.
Yeah. You know how
Show me.
NASA spent crazy amount of money in 3 movies to try to bring him. The United States government have spent crazy amount of money trying to bring Matt Damon back.
Yeah.
Saving
First
Private
he gets
Ryan.
lost in World War II.
Yeah.
And he's lost on the moon. What was the other one?
At Mars.
On Mars. What was the third one?
Interstellar.
Oh, he got lost in Interstellar too. Oh, these are his potatoes, are they?
Yeah. Grown from his poop.
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
That's right. Which I respect.
I'll grow some of these.
No. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Your potatoes suck. Can you throw them all down at one time?
Welcome to Sydney Harbour.
Oh! Welcome to Sydney Harbour.
Crikey.
Crikey, you
Oh, look at the Sydney Opera House. It looks so wrong.
Where? Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, it's been squished. And look at this. That's a good skyline. Like,
Yeah.
Sydney skyline's actually a bit... bleh. There's the Harbour Bridge behind us. So we're
They still have
floating
the
on
Sydney
water.
Tower.
Oh, and look, they've replaced the Botanical Gardens with a whole new buildings.
Oh yeah, why not?
Why not? I actually have a comic that's about Junkrat. And
bridge.
it has this skyline. It's beautifully drawn and designed. I think this is a great vision for Sydney, actually.
Let's go to the other side. Look at it. Oh, yeah.
Where are you?
I'm just looking at the Sydney Harbour Bridge on the other side. Oh, and Luna Park. You can see Luna Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kept that.
Oh, yeah, over there. This is probably, even though it's only a few hundred kilometres away, this is probably the only way you and I are going to see Sydney again.
My parents live in Sydney. I'd like to go to Sydney soon.
Yeah. When was Archimarathon Sydney?
It was meant to be April.
April.
Wow.
Oh, well, look. Archimarathon via Overwatch. Where did you go?
Welcome to Junkertown.
Oh, yeah, this is Australia. This looks just like my house. So this has got a bit of a Mad Max vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Which probably for a lot of people overseas probably think it's just, Australia's just like Mad Max.
That's right. It's some older time. Hi.
Hi. How's the Serenity? Oh, how's the bloody Serenity?
At Bonnie Doon.
Bonnie Doon. Look, there's Bonnie Doon over there. How's the Serenity?
How's the serenity?
I think he also just loved the word.
So much serenity.
Bye. The weird thing about postmodernism is it's like this type of generosity that's just kind of weird. Like it's kind of
What do you mean?
It's uncomfortable. These icons being applied to modern buildings, and you kind of like, oh, that's not quite right. That's the other thing you get with this game. Like, I love all of the maps, but then you get to the Australian ones, and you just like, if you know it really well, if it's part of your culture and how it defines you, you're kind of like, this isn't right. This feels really strange.
Yeah, it is cliche, isn't it? It's Disneyland still.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm okay. Which is the reason I love it in video games, because it's like this spatial experience that's done without waste, and there isn't. It's not a stage set. Well, it is a stage set.
Well, it is a stage set. It's as stage sets as it gets.
Yeah, but that's
To the
where I
point
think
it's
things
cliche.
yeah, that's where I think things like Disneyland are much more honest. At least they're saying this is a stage set and you're paying for an experience.
Paying for the stage set.
Traveling to Numbani.
We're in Africa, are we?
Yeah, it's the futuristic, high-tech Africa. It's a bit like Wakanda.
It's a lot like Wakanda.
Wakanda forever!
Do you know that scene where they're flying towards Wakanda and it's just forest, and it's like they've got a cloak on it, and once it flies through, it reveals the city? It actually has a very similar vibe. Hello.
It does. Oh, hi, hello. So yeah, look at all that antelope heads as kind of buildings.
That one?
It's kind of Art Deco meets postmodernism.
That's a good call. Yeah. It does have an art. Well, I guess it's just the curves and the arches.
Yeah, and the pointy
Dolphin
bits.
kind of shapes. It's a bit of a Western view on an African city. Oh wow! Look,
What?
it's the
Oh, it's the scene from Lion King.
If I could hold you up, I would. Pretty cool.
You want to go traveling?
What? What do you mean? Oh, you Oh, monorail. Monorail.
What I say?
Monorail.
What's it called?
Monorail.
That's right.
Monorail.
Hey, look at this. Look at the pipe. I mean, the gutter. You would think it's. Who would have thought that? Yeah, let's make a city with exposed pipe, but with beautiful glass covering. And over here, you got this digital sump.
Huh.
And then over here, there's a little weird augmented reality detail here.
What a great investment in infrastructure. And look, the bin lid moves. Is that important? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not very coronavirus friendly though.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
So Lijiang, yeah, Jiang means river. So this is
Does
side
it?
to side. Yeah.
Well, I learn something every day from you, Kevin. Most of it's useless. But
So I think this is
sometimes-
Shanghai. This is meant to be Shanghai. You're right. So here's the river, and here's oh, that's very Blade Runner-esque. The blimp over there.
Yeah, I gotta shoot it.
Raining all the time. Although you can see the sky, you can see stars.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is very Blade Runner. And Blade Runner has that, seems really normal now, but that real overlay of Los Angeles with a dominant Asian culture in terms of food and advertising.
Yeah, except this is very Brisbane, with the waterfront, and then there's a huge freaking freeway right in front of it.
Yeah, dislocating the city from the river. Don't do that, urban planners. I guess they don't anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Hey, so
Mm-hmm.
we gave a very simplified version of what postmodernism is. Probably wrong. Everybody put a comment below defining it properly, please. What do you think? Do you think video games are the best form of postmodernism? Do you play video games? Do you also agree that it's really important in terms of your spatial intelligence to play video games? We think it is. Good for your problem solving. Don't. He wants to boot me off, so I boot myself. I don't trust you at all, you asshole. Look, oh God, I'm an idiot.
Spatially intelligent. I just knew where to stand.
Yeah, you f***ing crook. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to go kill Kevin. Don't tell him.